Do you ever feel like you're flying blind, missing the ability to understand what's happening around you? Link 16 can help with your situation awareness. We have been told many times that BMS would never have it. If you have not heard of Falcon BMS, give it a try because it now has Link 16. First and foremost, it is not magic and nowhere close to being finished, but I will be diving into how Falcon BMS models it. There's a great article in the forums that explains Link 16 very well. It is the first link in the description. If you're new to the channel, I create tutorials for those entering the air combat simulator world using Falcon BMS and DCS, and other aviation related content. Hope my channel is what you're looking for. Welcome to BMS. This is called 2D. In other words, a 2D representation of the map. We also call 3D, which is when you're in the pit actually sitting in 3D. Those two terms are used a lot in BMS. Being that we're on the 2D screen, you have the ability to manipulate your DTC, data transfer cartridge. Either choose this button right here, says data cartridge, or this one up here. Either one will work. Before you mess with your data cartridge, make sure you choose the correct flight and the correct seat that you'll be using for this mission. In this case, I'll be Fury 2, a bar cap taking off at 30345 Zulu, and I will be the flight lead. I will be in a F-16 Block 40. So this is the BMS user manual, one of the many manuals and documents that you need to at least know how to find the information that you're learning. It is located in your Falcon BMS install folder. Go to Docs, 00 BMS Manuals, and is named BMS User Manuals. Open that up and go to page 65, chapter 5.1.8, link 16. So let's go in the DTC. When you're in the DTC, make sure you press COM plan to load your radios, IFF plan to load your IFF codes, and link 16 plan, and to load your link 16. Make sure you press save, and all of this is good. But I will go into detail on each of these lines and what they mean. It's file A and file B. There's two different files. By default, BMS loads your file A unless you change it when you're doing a ramp start in the pit when you get into the game. Flight lead, if that's green, that means you're the flight lead. If you're not the flight lead, that shouldn't be green. You need to make sure that if you are the flight lead, that turns green when you press link 16 plan. ETR is the external time reference, which is not functional yet, but you can kind of assume what that means. Call sign is the first and last letter of your flight. Mine is Fury, so my first letter is F, last letter is Y. Number is your flight number, so we're Fury 2, so I'm the flight lead, so I'm Fury 2-1. Number 2 will be 2-2, 2-3, and 2-4. Voice channel A and B are zeros because it's not implemented yet, but you can kind of assume what that means as well. This mission channel is automatically selected by BMS once you hit link 16 plan, and what it does is it's responsible for exchanging information from AWACS. Next is fighter channel. This is automatically set by BMS as well, and it's responsible for exchanging information between fighter aircraft. To my knowledge, this is not quite implemented when it comes to sharing information between aircraft. Special channel is the seed-related channel, but it's not implemented yet. TACAN, you can actually set your TACAN, and it'll be loaded in your aircraft when you load your DTC into your jet. So go ahead and set that to whatever your flight lead says to set it to. Flight source track numbers, or STNs, are in your immediate flight, so all of this will be Fury 2. The first 4 digits are automatically assigned to you by BMS. This last digit is your order in the flight. Number 1 is number 1, number 2 is number 2, and so on. This is true for all of these STNs down here. Team STNs are in your package, or other words, in your group that are doing the same mission, but maybe a different job in that mission. The symbology is a blue circle with a number in the middle. They will be numbered from 1 to 4. This is your flight STNs. Team STNs have the same symbology as your flight members, but they are numbered from 5 to 8. So there'll be a blue circle with the number 5 through 8 in them. This flight will be a part of you in your package, which all of you fly out together and working together to achieve a common goal. To find out who your team STNs are, go and click your ATO, and it'll show up in this window here. So 15601, so 1560 is right here. That's the AI flight Mustang 3, so you're basically protecting them because you're the bar cap. So you'll see them 5 through 8 on your MFD. This last group here is the bar cap of Eagles. It's your donors. The donor STNs, their symbology is just a green circle with a dot in the middle. So in reality, the donors will donate information when it comes to radar contacts to everyone on the fighter channel. At this moment, I don't think this is implemented. One day soon, but that is the point of donors. By default, Falcon BMS only puts in 2 aircraft per flight. So in this case, BarCap has 4 aircraft in it. It only put 2. It put the number 1 and the number 3. To add all of them, right-click on them, press Donor, and it'll add all of them. If you're wanting to add someone else outside of your package, go and press ATO Order. Click this little box here. It'll open up everything. If that aircraft does not have Link 16 support, it won't have numbers down here, and you know that it doesn't have Link 16. Once you're outside, go ahead and find your other aircraft not inside your package. Right-click and press Donor. Be aware, it'll only fill up however many aircraft are in that flight, and since it's an AWACS, it's only 1. I'm going to reset it here, so if you want to add the AWACS or whoever you're adding, you have to do it manually on this second column here. So 6104. 6104, and it's the first flight or first aircraft, it'll be a 1. So now you have your AWACS in there as well. You don't have to do this, but this is just showing you how to put in other aircraft on this side. After you have everything in there, go ahead and press Save. Don't press Link 16 plan because it'll reset to the default what BMS gives you. So I've entered data into the file B, flight lead, mission channel, fighter channel, and a few flight STNs. If you leave file B blank, it will not give you the option to load it from the DTC when you start the jet. So a vital part of Link 16 is the way you start it. So here on your avionics power panel, everything is normal, except after you turn on your MMC, you need to make sure you wait 10 seconds before you turn on your mids. This gives it time to do a built-in test. So if you want to go to your Link 16 page, go and go to List, and then Enter. It'll show you information here, but it won't tell you that you have Link 16. I'm going to go to Sequence, and it goes straight to IDM, which is the predecessor to Link 16. So this is how you know that your mids is not on. So now that it's been at least 10 seconds after I turn on my MMC, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the mids. After you turn on mids, you have to wait 10 seconds for it to go through its bit and show you what it looks like when it's turned on. I'm going to go to the DTE page. Right now it's blank right here, so it's not done with this bit. I'm going to go to List, Enter. The Link 16 required, that means it's done with this bit and it's ready for the Link 16 file to be loaded. I'm going to go double right to Sequence. Still doesn't seem to be up and running quite yet. There it is. So Link 16 net status is there now, so I know that my Link 16 is at least operating or powered on at least. Sequence right, double right. This is blank because I haven't loaded it. I'm gonna go again. My donors is blank, so all that is blank. I'm gonna go double left. So after you've verified your Link 16 is on by Link 16 init required, go ahead and press load. It'll load everything. Once it gets to Link 16, it'll seem like it freezes, but it's loading Link 16. Link 16 init check, it's just checking all the data entries, and there it is, Link 16 is loaded. See, as your Link 16 says fine, keep going. Link 16 is populated, keep going to the right, Sequence, STNs are loaded, donors are loaded. So here you can actually edit the Link 16 STNs, being that this is the second column, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is my team. So you can go and edit it as you wish, 1, 5, 5, 0, 1. So that's a random person, but you can also edit it in there. Then you have to put it back whenever you're done with the edit. Then press enter. This IDM here to Link 16, I usually have it on Link 16, but right now it's not implemented. Basically what it means is the data link you will be sending information on. If you want, you can leave it as IDM. Make sure you align your HMD so you can have everything aligned when you look at the symbols of your wingman and your donors. Make sure your HMD is on by rotating this knob right here. If it's still not on, hold DMS down, hold it, and it'll toggle it on and off. Once you have it on, press the list, miscellaneous for 0, and then recall. Once you're in this screen, go ahead and go right, double right sequence, course, azimuth, elevation, and roll. On here, you press the 0 on your ICP, and you match it with the cross on the HUD, and you press your cursor 0 button. After that, press 0 to move to save it. Press 0 again to move to this next setting. Move your cursor around to set up and make sure that it's in line with the crosshairs on the plus sign. So there it is. Press 0 again, and now this is roll. So you can go back and forth on your cursor to make sure that the two plus signs are matching each other. Press 0 again, and it's saved. As you can see, I can see my wingman now. There's my number 2, number 3, My number 4 is over there. As you can see the symbology here, the 2 on top is the position in the flight, is your wingman. Number 2 is number 2. And right here is the distance away from you, so they're 0.1 miles away. On the MFD where you have your HSD selected, the horizontal situation display, if you move your cursor around, you can actually move it over someone who is using link 16 and on the same net as you. And at the top here, it'll give you some information here called expanded data. So this first is a call sign, M and G, the first and last letter of the call sign. So I think it's probably Mustang 31. F16, green being that it is friendly. The altitude, the course, airspeed. This is the stores on the aircraft. This is 4 medium-range missiles and 2 short-range missiles. This is the fighter channel. H is the track quality. This number here is the source track number, or STN. So if you want to add someone else into your DED, you could use this number so you could put them in and they can show up on your link 16. This right here is the UHF frequency that they'll be using. Over here is the fuel, estimated fuel, and this is the mission channel. You zoom out, you should be able to see some other people. There's one right there at 2.6. There's DT71, it's probably Dragnet. The E3 26,000. Course is a heading of 010. Airspeed is 272. Fighter channel, track quality high. STN, UHF frequency, fuel, and the mission channel that they're tuned to. Also, what you do is move your cursor over a link 16 member, TMS up, and it'll create a circle around them, and it'll create a PPLI on your HSD. As you can see there, they are 54 miles away, and they're at 26,000 feet, and their aspect is 40 degrees left. If you TMS right, you could cycle through the link 16 members. TMS right goes the other guy, TMS right again goes to someone who's right next to me somewhere, and gives you information on them as well. And you see this target line, it points to the direction where the person that you're linked to in link 16. Then you go ahead and TMS down, it'll make them disappear. So if you want to quickly get to your donor page, go ahead and go to your HSD page, press donor, and it'll bring up on your DED, you can enter information. So in the FCR, it gives you almost the same amount of information as it does on the HSD. It's only the first line, so it gives you the call sign, what type it is, altitude, and basically the same thing as the first line. HSD gives you that second line there. It's a little bit more information, but it's still useful to have it on the FCR. So you see how the Eagles are up here. They're a donor, so they have the dot in the middle. The other F-16 flight are my team members, so they're same as my flight members, just 5 through 8. If you look at them with your HMD, head-mounted display, you can actually see them. They're just circles. But on your HSD, they come up as the numbers 5 through 8. I've paused BMS to show you some symbology. This dotted box here is white, meaning that it's unknown, and dotted means it's surveillance, so it has a very low rate of accuracy. This L right here means it's low. The rate of updates is about 12 seconds, with an extrapolated track of about 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, this disappears. Surveillance tracks should change color based on how much information is gained from them, with red meaning hostile, yellow meaning suspect, assume hostile, or pending, and green meaning friendly. To have the ability to obtain surveillance tracks, you need to have AWACS on station. It must be on the same JDN, Joint Data Network, as everyone else in the package, which is automatically done by BMS. The surveillance transmission range is about 215 miles for AWACS, and for fighters it is about 100 miles for the F-16. Surveillance system track file container capacity is about 40. As you can see, it updated to pending. It's yellow, and it actually gave us more aircraft there, so we actually see how many there are. So there's 4 in there. Accuracy is still low. There's actually more here, so there's about 6, maybe 8 targets out there. So now it's yellow. Also over here on the FCR, comes up as the same symbology. You can kind of see the top there. Still accuracy is low. Low accuracy is about 4 miles. Medium accuracy, which is an M right here, will be 1 mile. And then H, which is high accuracy, is less than a mile. So that's the best accuracy when it comes to the location of the surveillance track. As you can see, the aircraft is a MiG-29 since it came off my RWR on the outer ring. It's about 36 miles away. And there's a hostile declaration. All of them, or half of them, turn red, meaning that it's hostile. And that's basically how you know if it's hostile or not, if it turns red.